This instructional video is about solving rational equations, particularly those that are in work problem format. So in this case, we have a word problem that is Dr. Fernando is a dentist who can perform a root canal on a patient in 15 minutes. Woo. Dr. Daniel can perform the same procedure in 25 minutes. If Dr. Fernando and Dr. Daniel worked on a patient together, how long would they take for a root canal? I could see that happening. Well, to set this up, we have to first remember one doctor, Dr. Fernando, can work on one patient and it'll take him 15 minutes. So in a fraction form, that's one work in 15 minutes. You see the top is the actual work or the quantity of work, and the bottom refers to the time. And Dr. Daniel can do the same thing in 25 minutes, one patient that is. So one doctor or one patient in 25 minutes. And when they say together, we're implying that we are adding what Dr. Fernando can do and what Dr. Daniel can do. And the question is, together working on one patient, how long would that take? So there's your setup. So now to solve for x, there are many variations to this. What I like to do is tell the students, step 1, draw the parentheses. Step 2, identify all the denominators and list them as a coefficient. And then finally, step 3, take the entire coefficient factors and you're going to perform the distributive property to each of the term inside of parentheses. Because when you do that to the first quotient, the 15 cancels this 15. And that will leave you with 25 times x times 1, simply 25x. Take the entire coefficient and multiply to the second term, then we have 25, cancels that 25 over there in the middle, leaving you with just 15x times the numerator 1. So that's plus 15x. And finally, if you take the entire coefficient and multiply to the third quotient, then x's will cancel out. And according to my calculator, let's see here, 15 times 25, that gives me 375. So that equals 375. And usually when you do the distributive property, what follows is combining like terms. So 25x plus 15x, that gives me 40x, and that equals 375. Now to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides of the equation with the coefficient 40. So x equals, because 40 and 40 reduces, well, let's see, 375, the answer, divided by 40. And that tells me that is 9.375. So that's 9.375 minutes if Dr. Fernando and Dr. Daniel work together on one patient. But wait, sometimes I expect my high-performing students to indicate this in chronological number. So I say, well, what does 9.375 mean? Because that is like saying 9 minutes, that's for sure. But what on earth is 0.375? So we have to do a little scratch work over here. 0.375. Well, you have to ask yourself, how many seconds in a minute? And that'll be 60. So if you multiply 0.375 to a 60, 60 times 0.375, that gives me 22.5 seconds, or let's round it up to 23 seconds. Now that's what I call precision, huh? That being said, now let's have you try this one. Master Sing Fu can break with his bare hands 250 bricks in 12 seconds. Master Watanuma can break 250 bricks in 8 seconds. If Master Sing Fu and Master Watanuma work together, how long will they take to break 250 bricks? These are one fast masters. So you try that one. Okay, so let's see here. Master Sing Fu can break with his bare hands 250 bricks if we follow the same pattern that we did over here. The work is on top, time is on the bottom. So here's the work on top, and the time is this time not minutes but seconds. And we're going to add to that what Master Watanuma can do, which is the same, 250 bricks. And what Master Watanuma can do is in 8 seconds. So the question is, if they work together, we're adding those two capabilities together, how long will it take to break 250 bricks? How long? X. Now, in this kind of situation, you have to ask yourself, if you notice they're all the same numbers. So instead of saying 250, we could just simply refer to them as one job. So we could rewrite that in a simplified form. Now this only works if they're all the same. One job in 12 seconds, one job in 8 seconds, and one job together, how long? So if we follow the same step as we did with the dentist, the first step is to parentheses. Step number 2, identify and list all the denominators as the coefficient outside the parentheses. And step 3, take them and apply the distributor property, starting with the one on the left first. Because when you do, the denominator 12 cancels the first denominator. That leaves me with just 8 times x times the numerator 1. So that will be 8x. Plus, the second one, the 8 cancels out, which leaves me with 12 times x times the numerator 1. So that will be 12x. Finally, if we took the whole coefficient factors and multiplied the third term, x cancels out. And 12 times 8, that's 96 times 1. So that's 96. Again, after the distributor property, combine the like terms. 8x and 12x is 20x equals 96. We're going to solve for x by dividing the 20 coefficient to both sides of the equation. So x is equal to, well, let's try this one now. 96 divided by 20, that tells me that it's 4.8. That is awfully fast. So you know what? 4.8, that's 4 seconds and some odd hundredth of a second. But you know what? It might be more feasible in real life to leave our answer like that. Okay, so there is a situation. Now if you want to see a different variations or different word problems with different setup, look at the second part of the work problems on the series of instructional video. Okay, thank you so much.